that we won't be heard on camera.
Thank you.
So if you can kind of rephrase the question a little bit, like you
Into
say,
the
where
question?
are you from? You say, I am from blah, as opposed to Missouri.
Okay.
And then we just have a quote of Missouri.
Okay. I got it.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
How about we start with introduce yourself?
My name's Brendan. I've been working at the Renaissance Festival on and off for about 6 years now. Probably about 4 years full time, and then the past couple of years I've been coming in when I could take off from my real job. But I always make sure I get at least one weekend in, just because it's important to me.
Why is it important to you?
This place, Maryland Renaissance Festival, Revel Grove, is a very real place for me. And I'm sure you've heard this a couple of times already, but this is a home to me. This is the first place I ever felt like I fit in with a crowd, where I felt comfortable. And that goes back to high school when I first started coming here. It's the first place where I wasn't, hey, it's that guy with the funny clothes, it's that guy with the long hair, that guy with the beard. That's just some dude. And as much as being unique and being an individual and being your own person is important in this world, it's nice every once in a while to be just another face in a crowd. The people here are some of the most loving and wonderful people I've ever met. I've built very close bonds with many of them. I've rarely felt as supported and loved as I do when I'm here.
Do you have any concrete examples of this?
Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Pause.
Close up with the nostril.
Hooray!
Okay. Sorry. Go. We're good.
All right, can you give me any concrete examples of this?
Well, for example, when I was in college, my friends and I all were regulars here. And we got into the music, we got into the culture. And at all of our parties we threw at school, we'd sing along with pop songs from our childhood, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Walking in Memphis, stuff like that. We'd do the sea shanties and the traditional Irish music. We'd sing Rolling Down to Old Maui. We'd sing, Whiskey in the Jar. We'd sing all these traditional tunes. And it became so much a part of our thing that we decided to make a club. And it turns out that one of the Pirates Royale, sort of the house band of the Renaissance Festival, is an alumni from the college I went to. And we started throwing this big party every spring, a pirate fest, and some of the Pirates Royale started coming out to see us, and we were rough and we didn't practice things and we weren't really anything, but they still came out to support us because we were part of this family. The guy I work for, his name's Larry, he runs the Fantasy Mask Group along with a bunch of other things around fair, and every time I've ever seen him, be it here or in the real world, he runs up to me and he gives me a big hug and he says, "Brendan, how are you doing?" That's the first question every time. And I've never had a boss do that before. This is a family. We take care of each other here. If somebody's hassling one of the Rennies, one of the people that work here, we're on top of it because we're family. And in this world, I find that kind of bond so rare that it's beautiful to be here.
Have you ever had a situation where it's actually come to something violent in protection?
I've seen it come close I've seen it come close once.
What has come close?
One of the family, one of the Rennies here, is a guy who goes by the name Dog. He's a great fella. He's a good guy. And he's an African American, he's a black guy. And a couple of boys, probably from where I grew up, were hassling a girl, just getting a little too friendly with her. And he came over and he said, "Hey guys, seriously, you need to cut this out. That's unacceptable." And one of these boys turned to him and said, "You need to shut the fuck up, you nigger." And dog went a little crazy. He got real angry real fast, and some people were holding him back until they heard what happened, until they heard what was said. And within minutes, there was a party searching for these guys because they attacked A, 2 of our girls, and B, 1 of our guys in a heinous and offensive way. And I just remember somebody at the end of the pack calling security and being like, "You need to find these guys and get them out of here." Because, like I said, we're family. And you don't fuck with family. That's, you know, as much as I'd lay my life on the line for my mother or father, whom I love dearly, I'd lay my life on the line for anyone here because it's family.
What is your best memory from there?
I couldn't even answer it. I would love to give you a story. Probably the most powerful I have was 3 years ago now. Our king had just passed away. He'd had a heart attack. So it was 2 or 3 years ago. And Pub Sing, if I'm sure you guys have already heard, is church for a lot of us. It's where we go to exercise our demons and say the things we want to say and feel the things we want to feel. It's like Catholic Mass. You know when to stand up, you know when to sit down, you know when to kneel, you know when to sing, you know what prayers to say. And they read a Civil War letter that the king that had just passed requested read at the final Pub Sing the year after he died. And it was a beautiful soliloquy. I don't remember who actually wrote it, but it speaks on going into battle and having 1,000 men lying next to you, all of you trying to sleep and knowing this might be the last time you ever got to sleep. And it was beautiful and poignant, especially given the world events that at that time. And that was followed by a song called The Boatman, sung by Kat Fairbanks, Darcy Nair of the Pirates Royale. That's a love song to a sailor that has never come home. And that was followed by The Mist-Covered Mountains of Home, which is a Scottish tune about written by a man that was exiled from Scotland and just desperately wanting to get back to where he came from, to see his home again. I have never seen that many grown men weep in one place in my life. It was beautiful and poignant, and it hurt, but it was the right kind of hurt, the kind of hurt that made you remember you're still alive. It's not my best memory, I suppose, but it's the one I can remember the hardest.
First time you ever came to fair, walked through the doors, what was your first impression? What was the first thing that struck you?
The otherness of it, how different this was. I'd known people that were here, I'd known people that worked here, that came here regularly, and they all talked about how it was this different world. And I didn't understand it until I came here and I saw the way that people acted, the subtle differences in human behavior. And that's what made me understand how this is a different world. Here, for 9 weeks on weekends, people are generally nice to each other for no reason other than we're here. And that was the first thing I saw, was people were walking up and asking if I needed help, asking if I needed to know where to go. I walked into a shop and immediately they were like, "You're looking for some clothing. This is what I think would look good." People were being honest, and there's a lack of that in the real world. Because this isn't the real world. This is a game we all play. we allow ourselves to be who we really are for a moment.
And they will be on the other
Let's see. So you had to get out of work to do this.
Yeah,
I had to basically do it.
I told my boss that I was not coming in this weekend. I realistically
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Playing amidst shouting.
If I can hear it, they can hear it. The camera can hear it.
Oh, it's just background. Makes it feel more real.
Except when you cut it, it's like nothing, nothing. See, this is the din.
Yeah.
There's constant din. Gotta give it a second.
Okay, I think it's cool.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was it?
Okay, you skipped. You're out of work today.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, coming down here this weekend, I'm here today and tomorrow, this is costing me probably $400 to be here. Including gas, including lost wages at my real job. Also including the money I'm getting paid to be here. We make shit money. But this isn't a thing you do for the money. This is a thing you do for the love. This is a thing you do to be here. And even if my boss hadn't asked me to come in, I'd have been here this weekend because I haven't been, and I miss it.
Do you have a lot of lasting friendships that you still keep in touch with outside of the fair?
I have a few that I keep in touch with outside of the fair, but more importantly, I have people that I see when I'm here. And for a night, we're the closest friends again. There's a gentleman here that's here on a regular basis. He's a corporate insurance lawyer. His firm actually handled the McDonald's hot coffee case. And so that's what he does. He's this big shot corporate insurance lawyer. But I know him as the guy that runs around in a kilt that I recognize every time I see him. Like, we could go, I've never hung out with him in the real world. I've never seen him outside of this place, outside of Revel Grove. But when we're here, we're the closest of friends. I've drank with him. I sat next to him. We've wept together because we're brothers here. And that's what really counts. I've met his fiancée, probably now wife, and she's lovely, and I love her like my own sister. This is what we do. I have a few people here that I see often outside of it, but the beauty of fair is, while it exists only for this 9 weeks, during that 9 weeks it exists completely. It's as if we never missed a beat.
Do you have anything else? Gonna wrap it up. Okay. Do you have any parting words? Anything you'd really like people to know? Like for people who've never experienced it before, we're trying to gather people and show them how wonderful it is, basically.
Show them the community.
Yeah.
There's no way that I can show the community. It's not. There are some words that were said once about an entirely different experience, about a place that I work sometimes over the summers. But it's relevant here. This place is not about me, it's not about you, it's not about your viewers. It's about us. It's about what we all bring. At the end of the night, every night, we go to Pub Sing. That's our church. I mentioned it earlier. And every night we start with the same song. And it begins with a toast. Here's a health to the company and one to my lass. Let us drink and be merry, all out of one glass. Let us drink and be merry, all grief to refrain. For this company might never all meet here again. Every night, the specific group of people that are there are not probably ever going to be there again. But for that moment, we're all there together. And that's all we have as people. We have a moment together. And we need to love that and live that and experience it and be together. I think that that lesson is what this world needs to hear these days, and it's not